Today's Israeli attack on Iran marks a significant escalation in a conflict that has been simmering for decades. It's a moment that feels both fatal and dangerous, and it raises critical questions about the future of the region and the world. To understand why this is happening, we need to look back at the events that have led us here. The relationship between Israel and Iran has been fraught with tension since the Islamic Revolution in 1979. Iran's support for militant groups like Hezbollah and Hamas, coupled with its nuclear ambitions, has made Israel view Iran as an existential threat. The fear of a nuclear-armed Iran is not unfounded. It could shift the balance of power in the Middle East, emboldening Iran to act more aggressively against its neighbors. But is military action the only solution? Many argue that diplomacy should take precedence. There have been attempts like the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action or the Iran nuclear deal, which aim to curb Iran's nuclear program in exchange for sanctions relief. However, the U.S. withdrawal from the deal in 2018 created a vacuum that led to increased hostilities. The lack of trust between the parties has made it nearly impossible to return to the negotiating table. The ongoing conflict can be traced back to a series of provocations and retaliations. Cyber attacks, assassinations of key figures, and military strikes have all contributed to a cycle of violence that seems unending. Each side feels justified in its actions, but the civilian populations bear the brunt of this conflict. It's a tragic reality that often gets lost in the political rhetoric. So, how can we stop this cycle of violence? First, we need to prioritize dialogue over military action. Establishing back channels for communication could help de-escalate tensions. Confidence-building measures, such as mutual agreements on military exercises or intelligence sharing, could foster a sense of security that might lead to more formal negotiations. Additionally, involving regional players in the conversation is crucial. Countries like Saudi Arabia and the UAE have their own stakes in this conflict and could play a role in mediating discussions. A regional approach might help to address the broader issues at play, including sectarian divides and geopolitical rivalries. Finally, we must recognize the human cost of this conflict. Initiatives that focus on humanitarian aid and rebuilding trust between communities can pave the way for a more peaceful coexistence. Grassroots movements that promote understanding and collaboration between Israelis and Iranians can help break down the barriers that have been built over decades. In conclusion, while today's attack on Iran is a stark reminder of the fragility of peace in the region, it also presents an opportunity for reflection. We must ask ourselves if we are willing to continue down this path of destruction, or if we can find a way to foster dialogue and understanding. The stakes are high, and the future of millions hangs in the balance.